Hello YouTubers, today I'm going to be reviewing these two type of radios. These are brand of Midland and the models are the bigger one here. This is the GXT1000VP4 and the smaller ones are the X-Talker T71VP3. Well, I've been playing around with walkie-talkie radios for a while now because when I go to the mall, I go with my kid, my son, and so on. And then lately I've been participating on some family events that we found the need to use this type of two-way radios. Now this is not a typical two-way radio that you go and buy at Walmart, although I did happen to purchase this GXT1000 versions at a nearby Walmart. But these are very strong two-way radios. They run on FRS, which is the Family Radio Services, and GMRS. They're perfectly legal to operate in the United States. Although, from what I understand, the GMRS, you do need a license. I do have a GMRS license, but you do need a license to use GMRS channels. Beginning with over, if I'm not mistaken, you gotta go beyond channel 20 or 21, 22, and then channels 1 through 7 are GMRS. And for the channels that you do not need a license are the FRS channels, which, if I'm not mistaken, is channel 8 through 14, something like that. Well, let's get to it. These are the first ones that I used to have. The original ones that I got are the X-Talkers. I do like them because they are very small. As you can see, in comparison to the GXT1000, I mean, look at the big size, look at the big difference. And I do happen to have a ruler. The X-Talker T71VP3s, this is the size of it from bottom to the length of the antenna. Look, it starts here at 1 inch, and with the antenna almost 6 inches long, and these are still considered small. Compared to the GXT's 1000, I mean, look at this big difference. It runs from here through all the way down here, almost 7 3/4 of an inch. So it's a big difference, and they are also heavier. The GXT1000, they feel way heavier, but honestly, although they have a lower range, the smaller X-Talkers T71VP3s, I prefer the T71VP3s because they carry a smaller form factor and they're easier to carry. This is bulkier. The GXT1000 is way bulkier. Now it is worth noting that it has a long antenna, and from what I understand, the range on these big ones, the GXT1000s, are approximately they transmit approximately 2 watts of power. It is a fixed antenna. These antennas are not removable because by FCC law, here in the United States, they cannot be removed. But from what I understand, this is the most powerful. This is one of the most powerful two-way radios that Midland has, and they are bulky. They are very bulky. Now, in comparison, the smaller version, the X-Talkers, which are also from Midland, they transmit up to, if I'm not mistaken, 1.5 watts, somewhere around there, 1.5 watts or less than 1.5 watts. And as you can see, it's a very small antenna. So I mean, you're not going to have that much range with this antenna. It's only 1.5 inch on the X-Talker T71VP3s. On the X-Talker, the antenna is as long as 1.5 inch, and on the GXT's 1000, the antenna goes as long as past an inch. Past 3 inches. 3 inches and 1/8, 1/16. 3 inches and 1/16. Let's just round it down to 3 inches. That antenna is 3 inches in length, and I mean, they are strong. My kid and I, we have tested it. We live in an urban area, city, and he has gone as far as 2 blocks down with heavy traffic, buildings in between, and this thing rocks. this thing can still, I can still hear them down the Winn-Dixie supermarket from where we live, which is like about 2.5 blocks away in a congested area, heavy building structures, and the signal still comes in. And while they are in the store, in the supermarket. Now, I haven't had the same luck with the smaller X-Talker ones. I can still hear them, but they sound a little choppier. Now, obviously, I mean, these are fixed antenna radios. These are not nothing to do with ham radios, nothing to do with something like this, like a Baofeng. This is a Baofeng. This is a Baofeng BF F8 HP, and obviously, you know, nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. But you know, these are removable antennas, and in order to operate one of these, obviously, I mean, you gotta have a ham license. And besides, I mean, Baofeng is a very tricky, I mean, it's a very iffy brand now with all the things going on with the FCC, and you don't want to get I wouldn't say caught, but you wouldn't want to get in trouble with other ham radio operators. This antenna, for example, is 7.25 inch long, and it's removable, which is not by law, by FCC law, you're not supposed to use it for GMRS purposes. I mean, not that you cannot use it, because I'm able to receive on my GMRS radios that transmit from here. I'm able to receive it here on the Baofeng, but I'm not supposed to push this button here. I'm not supposed to transmit, because if I end up transmitting, then I would be violating FCC law, because I cannot operate from what I understand, according to the laws, I cannot operate I cannot transmit on a GMRS frequency operating what is considered to be a ham radio with a detachable antenna. I mean, the antenna in GMRS could be detachable, but it has to be mounted, if I'm not mistaken, on a mobile car radio. So something like that. You gotta understand, you gotta read the laws. Well, anyways, you know, the video is not about showing the or exposing the Baofeng ham radio, but it is for the purposes of an overall review and comparison between the GXT1000s, which are this one, the bigger radios, and the X-Talker's T71VP3. Let me show you real quick what came in the box on the GXT1000s. So this is what the box looked like. This is the other pair here. Here's the box. I mean, not the box, my apologies. This is the charger. So this is where they charge, and it has an adapter. I'm gonna show you the box now. So let me put the box aside. Let me put this aside. I'm gonna bring the box over, and I'm gonna do a test after that. This is the box. This is the actual box where the Midland radios came in. The two GXT1000s. I do not have the box for the smaller X-Talkers, because I got them last year, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know what I did with the box. But this is what the box looks like. So, and again, I bought these ones at Walmart. I bought them at Walmart. They say they claim to have up to 36-mile range, but it's not really realistic. It's not realistic at all, because in a scenario where it's an urban city and you have heavy building structure, building penetration, heavy traffic, and a lot of other people and other frequencies interfering, they're gonna play a big factor. So you're not realistically, you're not gonna get those 36-mile range. That is all if you were from one hilltop to another hilltop. They come with this like earpieces. These are the earpieces that they come with. They connect. They have a two. It's like a generic, or if I'm not mistaken, they're not generic, but they belong to the Kenwood patent. They're Kenwood patented adapters. So you just plug it in here. If you want to be more discreet and you want to look like an operator, like a CIA operator, then you wear one of these. But I mean, honestly, it's BS. I mean, unless you need your two hands for doing other functions, that's the only reason or purpose that you're gonna wear these little earpieces. I happen to buy a set of better earpieces that look more like detective type, and I bought them separately at Amazon. So this is what the box looks like, and I'm gonna set the box aside, and then I'm gonna do a small test. let me pull this box, put the box back. So right now they're on a channel, they're on channel 20, and the privacy code is 07. So, and I have the weather set to on. So the weather is set to on. So in case that a weather alert happens to come in, then it would definitely, I would definitely get a notification. So I'm gonna leave this one aside. I'm gonna leave the GXT1000 on the table, and I'm gonna set the volume to high, and I'm gonna transmit from the smaller X talker. So let me walk away.
Radio check, radio check. Radio check, radio check. Transmitting on channel 20 GMRS, privacy code 7, over.
So there you go, guys. That's how they sound. Now I'm gonna try to do the same thing. I'm gonna set the volume to high on the smaller X talker, and I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna transmit from the bigger GXT1000.
Radio check, transmitting from the GXT1000 on channel 20 GMRS, privacy code 7, over. Do you copy, over?
So again, that's how they that is how they sound. And I mean, and again, if this comparison video is so if you go out there on the street, and or if you're shopping online, you're searching online, and you do not know what is the size comparison between the two, I know they have another model. Now you know. I know they do have another model. I do not know what the name of the model is right now, but this is a model that just recently came out. Let me see if I can go online and I can point it out for you guys. That the pair cost $89. And again, these are considered X talkers also, but I do not know what is the range. Here it is. I'm looking at them right now. The pair is $89.99, and they are called the X Talkers T290. I do not know what is the power range on those ones, but they sell the pack directly from the Midland website. But again, I mean, this is the best affordable deal that you can get. In comparison, the X Talkers T71s, I got them last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I got the pair for $79. Now, the best deal that you can get right now, money-wise, now in May of 2019, the GXT1000s, I got the pair at Walmart. I'm at my nearby Walmart. I got it for $68 plus taxes in that box, and it came with all those packages, including a car charger. So I mean, what else? I mean, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. And then I would definitely recommend to have a pair of these in case of an emergency. If there is no emergency, remember that you cannot violate FCC rules. So just like I just told you about the ham radios, that you're not supposed to transmit on this using this type of ham radios while in using a GMRS frequency, and then you gotta have a ham license. Although that is the case, I do have them to receive, and I can perfectly legally receive. I could receive here, and I'm gonna prove to you I haven't set up in the same frequency as GMRS and the same privacy code testing, and I haven't set to receive. I mean, I cannot transmit. I cannot legally transmit. But then again, that is if you don't want to break rules. But in case of an emergency, a natural disaster emergency, all rules are meant to be broken, guys. Okay, so don't hold back. If you have an emergency, you have an injured family member, and your life is at risk in the middle of a disaster, you could transmit on these or these, in either one of them, or you can pair them both for survival purposes. I'm going to prove to you now that they are on the same channel.
Radio test, transmitting from the X-Talker T71s to a Baofeng radio, over.
So as you can see, they have been programmed to be run on the same frequency. Although I do not transmit using the Baofeng radios, that is a no-no, and I don't want to get any negative comments from especially ham operators. I use these two-way radios that are legally to operate. They do not have detachable antennas. They run on FRS and GMRS channels, legally bounded by FCC rules. And just for you to know out there, I do have a GMRS license. I pay my fees to have a GMRS license, so I can use GMRS frequencies, channels, me and my family members. So thank you again. I hope this review really helps you solve the, if you happen to, you can make up your mind whether if you want to get the X-Talkers, which is the smaller version, the X-Talkers T71Ps, or if you want to get the GXT, the bigger X-Talker, the GXT1000. So remember, the GXT1000 is going to be bigger, it's going to be bulkier, but it's going to have a more powerful antenna transmitting up to 2 watts. I have seen YouTube video reviews out there that they do technical testings, and this antenna and their test can transmit up to 3. I have seen transmission rates of almost 3.5 watts. So this is a very powerful antenna. You're not going to get the same result on the smaller version of the X-Talker T71VP3s, but they are more, they are less bulkier, and you can fit them. They're more, oriented towards putting them in your pocket, and I mean, this thing, these GXTs they're just bulkier. But again, it depends what do you want to use them for. If you need more power, if you want more power, more wattage, then go for the big ones. If you want more comfortability to make it fit in your, in your belt and so on, and you don't want it to weigh that much, I do not have the weight sizes here, then in that case, you go with the smaller X-Talkers, the T71VP3s. But again, they're both good radios. They're both made from a very good brand, Midland. So you can't go wrong with these two-way radios. Thank you again, YouTubers, and have a wonderful day. And please hit a like on my channel. Thank you.